is the North End. This is the North End.
Welcome back to the North End YouTube channel, and this is Dave with 5 things we learned with Manchester United's away victory at Fulham at Craven Cottage. Coming in at number 1, a star is born. Now, I don't typically do this, but I would like to point out, if you go back and watch our United preview video before the season with myself and Paul Forrest, one of my predictions was Garnacho was going to break through and make that left wing his own. What have we seen in the last week and a half? Exactly what I predicted. I'll end it there, but back to Garnacho and why, it's not just me who thinks a star is born. This has been the talk in the last little while. What is this guy? What can he offer? Is he the next big thing? Here's what Garnacho does that Jadon Sancho doesn't do, that Marcus Rashford doesn't do enough of. He attacks players one-on-one and beats them and wants to get into the box, wants to get into the byline. Now, what we don't talk enough about him, he's forcing attacks. He's not getting the ball and stopping. When he gets it, he wants to go at you. And defenders are frightened of him because he's got pace and ability. And he's burning players. And he gets into the box. Is he the finished article? Nowhere near. He's a little slender. He kind of gets into the box sometimes and then is not sure what to do. But he's got all of the tools. Jadon Sancho, out of form. Did we buy him for the right wing? Did we buy him for the left wing? Marcus Rashford. Everyone thinks he's better coming off the wing, or is he center forward? Martial, apparently a striker. We'll get to him in a minute. This is Garnacho's position. He is phenomenal and does what you want a winger to do. And not a lot of them do it well in the Premier League. Take players on one-on-one and beat them and create chances and score goals. He's the business. Get him signed up to an extension. Pay him the money. There's been talk of attitude problems. Get his head screwed on straight. And let's go. We've got a player here. I'm expecting a lot from him in the second half of the season. Coming in at number 2, missed chances. This was a frustrating game to watch in a sense where in the first half we probably created at least 4, you should probably score that chances. Like with Martial, Rashford, and Bruno, the buildup was fantastic. Missed chance after missed chance. I was extremely disappointed with Martial. Was him and another player, which we'll get to in a second, were I think the worst 2 players on the field. And even Marcus, like we should have been up 2-3-0 at the break, and then even in the second half, it was like when Fulham tied it up, and before Garnacho saved us with the 3 points. I was thinking about this video, and I'm like, the core of this video is going to be about missed chances and players not being good enough, and I don't think we should sweep that under the rug. I don't think Martial's good enough. I don't think Rashford is consistent enough. We have major concerns in attack. Not sure we can address them in January, but it's frustrating. Hence why, Garnacho being such a shining light, I think he needs to play. So, missed opportunities, outrageous. Maybe the most in a Premier League game so far this season. So, need to turn that around if possible. Coming in at number 3, MALACIA. Extremely underwhelming and disappointing performance. I know he was playing on the opposite flank. He was deployed at right back for the game. He was horrendous. So I don't know how much that would have mattered. He was constantly beaten by players one-on-one, out of position. Bruno was giving it to him a number of times, saying, "What are you doing here?" Started off the season so well. Took Luke Shaw's left back position from him. Luke has won it back and been exceptional. I'm fine with him being an understudy to Luke Shaw, but what you want is competition. You want him pushing Luke Shaw for the position back. He was a liability yesterday. He was easily the biggest liability on the field, and it was concerning. And it wasn't just a couple of moments. He was really bad. And it almost looked like the Premier League was too much for him, which we hadn't seen in the past. But pace and ability, he did not look up to it at all. It was tough to watch, and it was concerning. I know people are blaming him for the goal, but I think it's more a number of issues. But a really poor performance that I thought was glaring. I didn't care for it at all, and I like him as a player. I want him to tidy it up and get it together, because that was... now I'm going to be nervous. Next time he plays, I'm going to be a little bit nervous. He's put that thought in my head, but we'll see. Not great for MALACIA. Coming in at number 4, our midfield was really good, I thought. And I'm gonna be very clear about this. When I'm talking about our midfield, I more so am referring to our central defensive midfield. And I don't want Bruno to be included in this, because Bruno's an attacking midfielder, almost a part of the offense. For me, Casemiro has been a revelation of simplicity, tackling, defending that United haven't had arguably since Roy Keane, or even maybe when Darren Fletcher. And him and Eriksen together is beautiful. Like when we're in trouble deep in front of the back four and they play a couple of quick passes to each other, lateral, what have you, and then we move it up to attack. It's like, it's so nice to watch. And people forget that's how attacks happen, is getting the ball out of your zone in a tidy manner, being intelligent, and then moving it forward to a player who can then transition into attack. We do that really well lately. A lot of credit to Erik ten Hag, but I knew we were getting a world-class player in Casemiro, but the age concerned me. Same with Eriksen. And they're both, I would argue, they're both our most important players, and De Gea recently as well. But it's really nice to watch tidy, intelligent, smart play in the midfield, both defensively and offensively. It's just, honestly, it's what I've been screaming out for. I know Paul on our channel has been screaming out for, and I know. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Eriksen and Casemiro are not spring chickens. They're not young, but they're fantastic for right now, and I feel lucky to have them. Coming in at number 5, big 3 points before the World Cup break. Huge, especially with a lot of the off-the-field news, which I'm sure you'll hear a lot more of, not just from our channel, but from every football outlet, not being Cristiano Ronaldo in his recent interview. But great for confidence, and great to say, you know what, if you want to call it the first half of the season, we're 3 points off of top 4 with a game in hand. Erik ten Hag has been what we've been all clamoring for since Fergie left. I think so anyway, so far. Discipline, diligence, assertiveness in implementing his style, which isn't far off what we're seeing some of the best teams in world football do. It's the beginning, but the first half of the season has to be deemed a success. He has to get a lot of credit for it. And to get that win in the nature we did in the final seconds of the game in true United fashion was I think important, right? Because we go into the World Cup break with, you know, a little bit of euphoria with a classic victory. Papers over the cracks a little bit of some of the performances, particularly the missed chances in attack, which again, if we finish 5th or 6th this year, but we address that in the summer, because I don't think you can do it in January, that's okay. We're moving in the right direction. The midfield, as I just mentioned, looks great. The defense is fantastic. I do think, and now I'm just going on too long here, Martinez needs a partner. Martinez was 9 out of 10 again. De Gea looks great. We're trending in the right direction, and this should be discussed. And you just tweak from here, and you keep tweaking, because it's starting to really look like Erik ten Hag knows exactly what he's doing. Guys, let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Gotta say it. Gotta do it. And let us know what kind of content you want to see on the channel, whether it's United, whether it's about another team, some topics, the World Cup. We are here for it. But guys, thank you once again. I have been Dave, and this has been 5 Things. Manchester United's late victory at Fulham and Craven Cottage. See you in the next one.
This is the North End. This is the North End.